Hi, I'm Spira, and today we're going to do a few upper body poses from yoga. And to start, I'm going to have you sit on a blanket. You can sit with either legs crossed in front of you, or if you'd like, you can set up your heels. Line up one heel in front of the other. And so the blanket will give us just a little bit of lift so that our pelvis doesn't tilt backwards, but actually sits straight. And from here, just take a minute to close your eyes and start to tune in to your breath. It's nothing special to do. Just notice the inhalations and the exhalations. Bring your awareness to your belly, maybe even placing a hand on the heart and the other on your belly, so that when you're breathing, you can feel the belly expand with every breath. And that's the diaphragm muscle. And it's a good place to be breathing from. Many of us often breathe a bit too much through the chest, so just bring your awareness to that and see where you are on that spectrum. And then from here, gently open your eyes. And go ahead and place your hands on your lap. And then bring your awareness to your spine and simply sit up a little bit taller than you were before. Just check in with your posture. It's really easy to kind of slip back and slouch a little bit, or even to kind of move forward a little bit. So just notice where your sit bones are. Those are the bones under your seat, and where they're connecting to the blanket or the mat. And pretend there's a little thread inside your spine and you could kind of lift it up. That would just elongate the spine slowly. Another way to do that is simply lift the chest slightly as you inhale. Let the shoulders just fall naturally. And that's a straight spine. From here, we're just going to inhale the right arm up, then exhale and cross it over the left. Gentle twist because we haven't really warmed up yet. And then we'll just take the left hand behind us, and as we exhale, we twist over to the left, looking over the left shoulder. Don't twist too much, just enough to get a little movement in the spine. And then slowly make your way back toward the front. Inhale the left arm up, cross over the right, and take the right hand behind you. Inhale and lift the chest slightly, and as you exhale, twist over to the right, looking over the right shoulder. Again, no need to go really far, no need to push yourself into going further than you need to. Full deep breaths. Again, it's okay to let the belly relax a little bit here. And then make your way back to the front. From here, we'll take the hands in front into potted palm. And we're just going to start to walk the hands forward, keeping the spine long. And you'll start to feel it getting longer. And so if this is enough for you, this is fine. Just stay here and breathe. If you have a little more space you can play with, go ahead and walk forward a little further. And this creates a nice traction. I'm going to resting on the fingertips. This creates a nice traction for the spine. And then just slowly keep coming forward as long as it stays comfortable. And then slowly start to walk the hands back up to sitting. And from here, we're going to take a block and place the block in front of you and take the hands behind your back. So you can either bring your hands into prayer position or you can just take opposite elbows and then just gently fold forward. So we're going to line the block up with the forehead. So move it if you need to, and then come to rest the forehead onto the block. So the forehead onto the block is one way to stimulate the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve immediately activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Basically what that means is if you are revved up or anxious and you need to calm down, applying pressure to this forehead area tends to do that. It's a great way. And then the block can also be used on different heights too. So just kind of depends on where you're at. So don't try to push yourself into something that your body doesn't want to do. Definitely pay attention to that, okay? So we'll set the block aside. And then from here, let's take the legs out wide. And you're going to take your hands, and instead of coming forward this way, we're actually going to take the hands behind the back. And the legs only come as wide as you are comfortable with. So some people are really open and they can open up the legs wide, and you may not be as open. You know, maybe your legs are here. I'm kind of in the middle, I think. So from here, we are going to start to fold forward, but to take it a little easier on the hamstrings, two things. One, let the knees be a little bit loose so they can bend a little bit, or you could even put maybe the edge of your block underneath the knees. This is really helpful for people that have a little bit of tightness in the back of the legs, because what we don't want to do is stretch the sciatic nerve. We want to stretch the back and the back of the legs. So from here, we'll take the hands behind the back and just gently start to move forward. Be careful of the chin, bring the chin in, and then we'll start to move forward, keeping the spine elongated, using the breath. Great, and then from here, we'll gently press back up. And let's bring the left leg in. The foot will be towards the inner thigh. Now, this is another pose, Janu Shirshasana, where you can still keep the block underneath the knee. And if you want to try resting the forehead in this pose, you can use the other block. You can keep it handy. I'll show you how to use it. So from here, we're going to inhale the arms up, turn towards the extended leg, and then slowly fold forward. So don't worry if when you start to fold forward, you only come this far. This is fine, and you can keep the hands here or on the mat. You can also bring the block up to the thigh and rest the forehead on it. If this is comfortable for you, go with this. If you feel like you can come down a little further, maybe try putting the block on the shin. Maybe change the heights. Just don't put it on the knee, so the thigh or the shin. You could actually even try maybe on the inside of the leg next to the calf. There are a lot of different options here, so try out what works best for you. Use the breath here, just breathing slowly and deeply. Notice any sensations that you feel in other parts of the body. You may be feeling a bit of stretch on the back side of the body. There's a little bit of a twist here as well. In this pose, we generally hold just a little bit longer than some of the other poses. That way you can use the breath and take time to let the body just kind of sink into it. And then slowly starting to come up. When you give yourself time to really get into a pose, it gives you a better opportunity to experience the pose. So we're coming to the other side, taking this block under my knee, Okay, I'm keeping my toes pointed up, and I'm going to bring my block over for support. So inhale the arms up, exhale, turn towards the extended foot and gently fold forward. Whichever one works for you today. And don't forget, every day is different. So what works for you today may not work the same for you tomorrow. You might be feeling a little extra tight tomorrow or a little extra loose tomorrow, so play it by ear. Full deep breaths, allowing the upper body to simply rest. Bring your awareness to any sensations that might be coming up. Where are you noticing the stretch? And then we'll slowly start to come up from here, pressing the arms into the mat, and then coming back up to sitting. So let's take the blocks out of the way for a moment. And we're going to move our spine a little bit to start warming up. We're going to start on hands and knees. And if this bothers your knees, you have a couple of options. You can take a blanket and simply place it underneath your legs like this. Or you can fold up your mat as well. And some people use old mats cut up or something like this that you can get at probably a sporting goods store. I think I got mine at Marshall's. And we'll just bring this to underneath the knees. So knees are hips width apart, shoulders, wrists are under the shoulders. Okay, so this is what we call a neutral spine, and this is when you know you're looking like a tabletop. That's how you know you're doing it right. So from here, as you inhale, let the belly drop, lift the chest and the gaze. And then as you exhale, start to move the head forward, start to round the back, pressing the arms into the mat, tailbone tucks. And then as the breath comes back in, slowly tilt the pelvis back again, drop the belly, lift the chest. And then once again, rounding the back as you exhale. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the back. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. From here, we'll come back to a neutral spine. Take the knees a little bit further apart, touch the toes, and we're going to come back into child's pose with the arms forward. And then lift the head slightly. Walk the arms over to the left. Lower the forehead and breathe. Notice where you feel the stretch here, probably alongside the right arm, all along the ribs, down to the waist and the hips. And go ahead and lift the head, walk the arms back through center, all the way over to the right, and then lower the forehead again and breathe. Noticing where you're feeling the stretch along the left side of the body, under the arm and the shoulder. Probably along the ribs, down to the waist and the hips. And then lift the head to come back up, come back to center, and we will come back to tabletop. So from tabletop, take the right leg out behind you, keeping it straight. And then when you feel pretty balanced, you can go ahead and take the left arm out and stay here and breathe. If this feels really easy and you don't feel too wobbly, go ahead and bend the right leg and take the ankle or foot, lifting the leg up. And maybe from here finding a drishti point, so that is any point that you can focus your gaze on. It will help your concentration. And it's good practice to maintain focus as well. Go ahead and release the foot and the arm if you did take them up. Keep breathing fully and deeply. And then slowly bring everything back to start. Full inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, take the left leg up. And whenever you're ready, take the right arm out in front of you. And just stay here and breathe. Now this is good enough, so just stay here. But if you would like to take it a little bit further, you can go ahead and bend the left leg, reach back, take the foot or the ankle, and then notice how the front of the body opens up. So think about what's happening in the collarbones here. Full deep breaths. And then go ahead and release the leg and the arm. Notice the muscles that are working in this pose, usually along the abdomen. And then go ahead and bring everything back to the mat. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, curl the toes under. Just make your way into downward facing dog. Full deep breaths. Hands are flat on the mat, fingers are spread wide. Knees can be bent. So from here, if you'd like to work with the knees bent first, bend the knees, then press the hips up and back. And then start to straighten the legs. In this pose, you really want to feel the stretch in the spine and not in the legs. If you're feeling it a lot in the legs, just bend the knees again and press the arms into the mat, and you'll feel the spine elongate. Full deep breaths. And then we'll take the right leg up, bend the knee, and bring the leg underneath the body and plant the right foot next to the right hand. Lower the back knee and straighten the toes. Again, you can be on a folded mat here. And you can take the hands and place them on the upper thigh. So we're in a low lunge here. And then from here, release the hands. Lift the left arm up as you inhale. Cross over the right thigh as you exhale. Bring the hands in front of the heart. You can stay here and breathe, or curl the toes under and straighten the back leg. Twisting over to the right, using the breath. Back leg is strong. If you're feeling a little shaky, that's okay. And then go ahead and lower the back leg. Turn the hands towards the front. And we'll step back into downward facing dog. 3 full deep breaths. Lift the left leg as you inhale, bend the knee. And then slowly bring the left leg underneath the body, plant it next to the left hand, Lower the back leg and press up again into our low lunge. Once again, we'll clasp the hands, pressing them against the middle of the upper thigh. And you're actually pressing that leg, pressing into that leg. You should be feeling a nice stretch along the psoas. Couple more breaths here. And then from here, inhale the right arm up, cross over the left, bring the hands together in front of the heart, and stay here and breathe. If it's available to you today, curl the toes of the right foot under and simply come up. Full deep breaths, back leg is strong. It's okay if you get a little shaky. Then go ahead and lower the right knee, point the toe, and we'll turn back to the front, plant the hands, and come back into downward facing dog again. Full deep breaths. Settle into this. Knees can be bent. And then we'll come down to knees and sit back on the heels for a minute.